going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So today is Thursday. Hope you're having an awesome day wherever you are. If we have a look at what is going on, we are seeing a little bit of a mix in the markets today. Ethereum still looking nice, but man, have we not been calling it, everyone, for the past few weeks now? We called the Bitcoin pump, and then just yesterday we called the altcoin pump, and Ethereum was leading the way. I mean, guys, we have been absolutely smashing it on the channel lately. Thank you so much. Pleasure to be in crypto with you. And if it's your first time checking out the Crypto Zombie channel, definitely get subscribed. We do this every single day. Also, we have a Ledger Nano S giveaway every single Monday. All you got to do is comment on any video below. Now, let me give this a quick refresh live because we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Are we going to see that massive 40% dump with Bitcoin? What's going to happen with the altcoins? And how we could potentially hit a $100,000 Bitcoin? Yes, you heard me correct, guys. So you are seeing Bitcoin dominance around 56.7%. Bitcoin taking a hit. XRP also because it had that news about being listed on Coinbase, right, for New York citizens. Now, if we do refresh this, look at these altcoins. Dent, 40%. LA token, 36. NEM, 26. Sentiment, 17. Golem, 12. Stellar, 12. I mean, guys, we could just go down this list. It's freaking amazing what has been happening with the altcoins lately. And you could see right here, we called this just before consensus. We had that massive run up, that pump. And literally on the first day of consensus, we didn't sell off as far as price was concerned, but we went into the altcoins. And like we said, when CNBC was saying Bitcoin, 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 well, you guys know what to do. Whatever CNBC says, just do the opposite. And 95% of the time, you're going to be right. So that is the situation that is going on right now. Now, one thing that I do want to bring up, okay, because we do have to keep it very realistic, you saw the shorts fall off a cliff this morning, okay? And in the same hand, you saw the longs, they did have a little bit of a dip, but they're still up relatively higher than where they were in the past. So some people are calling for a potential long squeeze. Now, this is not something that we talk about very much. Usually we talk about a short squeeze, but if we were to have a potential long squeeze coupled with the fact that we've been looking at the 2015 comparison where we fell 40%. Now, I don't want to scare anybody, but if that potential is still on the table, to happen, then we do need to look at this moving forward. Now, currently you are seeing some sell pressure across the board right here. However, if we scroll down, we still have, even though shorts are in the lead, it's a very back and forth. It's very close. You can see 49.18% longs, 50.82% shorts. So it's still kind of in the gray area, right? But I do want to have a look at this and I do want to see what's happening because we have had Bitcoin selling off since this morning, right? We can't seem to get above this $8,200 level. Now, I just want to point out we did have some and it's very weak support. Okay, but right here at this almost $7,600 level, you could see we had difficulty trying to break through it back here around May 11th and 12th, and now currently it's somewhat been supporting us. So there is a potential chance that we might get supported by that $7,600 level, but I just want to show you right here if we pull out, and of course this is the level again, I do think that we still are going to bounce somewhere in this green channel. You see the green here and the green here, because this is where we had the volume range that was just absolutely massive. And once we broke through it, that really signaled for everyone that we are officially in the bull trend. So I wouldn't expect Bitcoin to go lower than $6,400, but in the short term, we could be supported by the $7,600 mark, right? Or we could just blast right through. But currently, I'm noticing that the altcoins are having some fun right now. So while Bitcoin kind of figures out what it's doing, the altcoins are definitely coming out to play. Now, we did talk about the massive similarities between what is happening right now and what happened back in 2015. I mean, you could see it's almost uncanny, the similarities between these two, right? Also, shout out to Josh Rager for this infographic, but I want to hop in and have a look at the actual chart itself. So hopping back again to 2015, as you can see, this is what we were measuring. We had the low right here, which was around $200, and then we popped up all the way to $500 before falling back down again to around $300, right? So we had this crazy, crazy pump. Now, what I want to show you is we went up 148% between that low to that high before we had that pullback, right? Now, if we look at what we're doing today, we're actually up 160%. So even though this is 20% more, the similarities are actually pretty crazy, crazy, right? So we know what happened after that. Basically, after we had that run up, we pulled back. And then what happened was we consolidated for a little bit. And then right around here, it was like May 27th, which is almost crazy how it's like so close to almost that same time even, you know what I'm saying? We just had a massive, massive pump. So the question is, are we going to have that crazy pullback, sideways consolidation, and then the pump? Or is it going to be different this time? Well, I do want to talk about that. So just to entertain the thought, because why not? Let's see what would happen. So if we were to fall all the way down and have a 40% drop, I don't see this happening. I mean, I don't think we're going to go back down to the $5,000 level. It could be a fluke, guys, but worst case scenario, I still see us being supported by this trend right here, because the trend is your friend until the end, and we've yet to go, below the trend. So even if we were to fall, all the way down here, I still think we're going to get stomped out by, this right here. Sorry for the drawing, guys. But basically, the reason I want to tell you why I think it's so different this time and why we can't go by what has happened in the past is because it is such a different landscape this time. Look, we have Bitcoin search terms again at an all-time high on Google Trends in just the past 30 days. So people are searching Bitcoin. You can see right here, look at all these dark blue states that are looking up Bitcoin. Also, let's not forget that Coinbase was trending yesterday on Apple, the App Store. And on top of that, you're seeing Blockfolio, the actual app, I don't know if you guys use it, actually crashed yesterday because so many people were trying to go on and look at prices and stuff like that. So it is just insane what you're seeing. And one thing that I want to call out, really big difference. Now, this isn't necessarily from 2015. I'm just talking about the bear market we had. Joseph Lubin said, I'm calling the crypto bottom of 2018. This bottom is marked by an epic amount of fear, uncertainty, and doubt from our friends in the fourth and crypto fifth estates. Now, what he's talking about essentially is he's sort of poking fun at this ICO mania, right? The reason we were seeing Bitcoin dominance fall all the way down to 33%, people were just going ICO crazy. They were throwing their money at anything that had a white paper, and that had a lot to do with the speculative bubble. We don't have that this year. We are a lot smarter this time around, all right? We're not going to get burned. We're going to be a lot more intelligent. And the one thing I want to point out, you guys have to watch this video from Max Kaiser, okay? I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, Kaiser Report, okay? But he talks about why he is doubling down on his $100,000 Bitcoin prediction, and he actually has a pretty damn good reason why. So I'm going to play this clip, and then we're going to talk about it in just a second.
What's driving and fueling Bitcoin here? I have my theories. I want to hear yours.
Well, Daniela, when the Federal Reserve Bank signaled that they were going to permanent quantitative easing, I said, look, that's the bottom for Bitcoin. That was about 3,200 on Bitcoin, because they're making clear now that there's going to be no accountability by the Fed, that they're just going to print ad infinitum, ad nauseum. There's going to be no rollback, no kind of attempt to balance their books, complete irresponsible global shenanigans. So anybody with money, with wealth, is looking for a store of value. They know gold is problematic because there's no genuine price discovery in the price of gold. There's too many sharks and charlatans who are manipulating prices with those naked short sales that we talk about and others talk about, and it just can't get above 1,300, 1,400. Even if they allow it to kind of trade freely where it could be or should be, you're talking maybe 5,000 an ounce. Bitcoin, meanwhile, has a long way to go to catch up to capture a piece of the gold market. You're talking 60, 70, 80,000, $100,000 per coin. That's still an enormous percentage gain left on the table to capture. Warren Buffett's not capturing it. He's too mired in his ways. He's set in his ways. He can't adapt. He's not agile. He's not really got the brain power for it.
Last time your call was 100,000, you told me Bitcoin was going to, quote, crush the US dollar and blow the roof off of every bank in America.
Right. Okay.
That was like, what, a year and a half ago?
Right. Price, we started buying Bitcoin at $1 at 2011 on my show, Kaiser Report, and it ran up to 20,000. And, the world went Bitcoin crazy. I came on your show. We talked about it. And you were asking me, have I sold any of my Bitcoin? I have not sold any Bitcoin because my price target is 100,000 and beyond. It had this epic move down into 3,000. It's like a 75, 80% correction. It's the third or fourth, depending on how if you keeping score, going back to 2010 when this thing, or 2009 when it was first launched. And, this is the way it trades because it's making this huge transition from store of value commodity thing to medium of exchange to unit of account. And by the time it gets to $100,000, the volatility will ebb and you'll start to see it. Whole Foods just announced they're going to start using Bitcoin. eBay is now going to start using Bitcoin. Fidelity is now got a major Bitcoin. TD Ameritrade is moving into Bitcoin. eToro is hugely into Bitcoin. I mean, it's making the institutional play now. And there's going to be a mass fear of missing out, or FOMO is going to jump to the institutional level, and they've got the big bucks, and now we're going to see some big moves.
Hashtag drop gold.
So there you have it. Do you see what I'm saying, guys? We are finally having that money that's been sitting on the sidelines, that cautious money, that institutional money. They're going to FOMO in. I mean, we looked at the gold chart the other day. What is gold up? I don't even know today, 0.8%. Maybe it's up 1%. I mean, literally, compared to Bitcoin, what's happened ever since we hit the low. So guys, this is real. This is crazy. It's totally different this time. And this is seriously going to blow the top off, and not in a bad way. Okay. So I just wanted to point that out. Also, this image has been circling around the internet the past 24 hours. I don't know the legitimacy of it. I don't even know where it's from, but apparently there's this random person. It looks like on a 4chan or something that predicted what would happen. So they said right here, April 2019, Bitcoin 5,300. They're saying July 2019, Bitcoin 9,200. By October of this year, 16,000. February next year, 29. July 2020, 56,000. And then I think they meant to say 87,000 by November of 2020. And this will be a 1.5 trillion market cap. The dominance of Bitcoin will only be 40 to 46%. The charts never lie. So this could be just a total hoax, just floating around the internet. But so far, you got April right. So we'll just have to take that with a grain of salt. Also, let's talk about these altcoins, guys. We were talking about this the other day on the channel. We pointed it out. Look at that volume. Look at that volume right here. You cannot deny that people FOMO'd into the altcoins. They pumped the hell out of them, and this is exactly what we were calling for. Now, we do have a little bit of resistance right here, which could potentially act as the support. So if we do have the alts overall cap come back down to somewhere here, well, then we could look for potentially another jump upwards. But guys, we were literally talking about this the other day. Ethereum is just freaking going nuts. You could see right here. It's actually had a pullback. It went all the way up to 274. And then now we're sitting around 248, 249. So are we going to see Ethereum go all the way back up to $1,400 like we did at the all-time high? Well, I think it's very possible just with the fact that Bitcoin will probably just drag it up percentage-wise. But actually, it was really interesting when we were talking about the correlation. And it seems like if Bitcoin moves 1%, Ethereum tends to move 1.1%. I know, pretty weird, right? So just keep that in mind moving forward. Also, want to talk about something really quick. The reason why it's very important that we don't let all these institutions come in and gobble up everything is because, as you can see right here, this came out from Chainalysis. And although the original motivation for cryptocurrency is to be decentralized, research has actually shown that over 30% of all Ether and over 20% of all Bitcoin is currently controlled by whales. In fact, just 376 whales hold about 1/3 of all of the Ether in existence. So that is something to keep in mind. And, don't let these guys do what they did again. We already have, these big whales in the real traditional markets, and now is your time to actually own a piece of the pie. You know what I'm saying? To get in early, to be that retail, to actually have that wealth, transformation opportunity of a lifetime. So I just wanted to point that out. Don't let these guys, get up all the Bitcoin and suck up all the Ethereum. All right. Also, in response to a question about whether there's something structural in the crypto market that encourages speculative trading, and this is from Eric Voorhees. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because you still hear a lot of people like, yeah, well, Bitcoin's doing well, but it's so volatile. Well, as Max Kaiser pointed out, as the price and the market cap get higher and higher and higher and higher, it becomes more and more and more and more difficult to manipulate, and it does become more stable. But because the market is so young right now, because we have such a small market cap, we do get a lot of volatility that you don't really necessarily see in the traditional markets, okay? And he says there have to be bubbles in crypto because it's taking over the world, and it's not going to advance 5% a month without end. If it did that, then people would start buying it up and front running it and turning it into a bubble. There's no way to go from a $0 asset to one that's worth trillions without massive speculation and massive volatility in cyclical bubbles. But before we go, I just want to point out that sentiment is changing. I want to leave on one positive note, and then I'm going to get on out of here because really, guys, it's just another nice day in crypto. It's a pleasure to be here with you. So Indexica, which is an alternative data provider, built a custom index based on natural language processing of thousands of textual documents to try and explain Bitcoin's 28% run-up. And throughout the month of April, what they found pointed to a coming of age for Bitcoin. Very interesting thing that they did, but their findings showed three main drivers. One, a more complex conversation surrounding Bitcoin. Two, fewer concerns about fraud. And three, a shift in the tense of how Bitcoin is talked about from the past to the future, as in you are no longer hearing people talk about, oh, it crashed in the future, blah, blah, blah. Instead, you're hearing people talk about the positivity of where it's going to be going in the long term. And that is the current sentiment in the space. And that is it for me today, guys. So thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Everyone that's been liking, subscribing, commenting, you guys freaking rock. If you haven't joined the official Telegram group, link is right above my head right here. You can just click it. Also, if you guys want to support the channel, there are links below. I do have referral links. You don't have to use them. They do help out. I do know Unstoppable Domains, if you guys haven't checked out, they're going to be doing their auction soon. I'll let you know when that comes out, when they, put the official Medium post or whatever out. I'll definitely keep you guys in the loop. But that's it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoy your day. One step closer to the weekend. Let's get it. And, if we do have a little bit of a pullback, it's normal. It's healthy. We can't go straight up forever. Actually, if we did go straight up, I would start freaking out a bit. So I think it'd be nice to have a little bit of a pullback. And let's be real, guys. We do want to accumulate some more, don't we? I mean, I want to accumulate some more before we go straight to the moon. So thank you so much. You rock. I love you guys. My name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto and peace out.